Good morning, Green Light the Day family. I hope that your day is starting off well and with intention. I am still reading this book, The Purpose Principles, How to Draw More Meaning into Your Life by Jake Ducey, and reading the chapter about thoughts become things. And we've talked about that before. I think most of us know that our thoughts are very, very important because they determine our action. I just wanted to share a couple of things. This chapter answered some questions that I have. Well, if I'm thinking positive or if there's so much power in my thoughts, then how come my life is not changing? Why isn't it the way I want it to be? And I like this response. He says, because, there are things outside of our control. And this thought process has to do a couple of things. One, it has to stay positive and focused, even when you think you're experiencing negative things. Then you have to remember that there's a time lapse involved between defining and discovering what we want and taking the action to make it happen. And that time lapse is how reality begins to manifest itself. And that's really a struggle for me because we're in this world where everything is now. And I have been so amazed when time manifests itself as reality. About 3 weeks ago, I was going to try this delivery service because here, it gets really cold. I don't have a car. And for some reason in my mind, I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice if the delivery service just gave me a ride at the same time? I mean, I can't think of that happening, but you never know. So Saturday, it was cold, it was snowing, and I set up for the delivery service. And right when I was setting up for the delivery service, the delivery man came by and he says, well, when do you want this delivered? And I said, well, I have to get home before you get there. And he goes, yeah, I'll just drop you off. A delivery is a delivery. So I just thought it was amazing to see how these coincidences or how the universe works. Another thing that it talks about is the importance of our words, not only our thoughts, but our words. And I like this new way of phrasing things. You know how we say, well, if something happens, right? And then we learned, well, we shouldn't say if, we should say when something happens. I like what he says. He says, when this or something better happens. So when you got plans, say, hey, well, when this or something better happens. And the energy from just saying that is just so amazing. I've been trying that. I tried it yesterday and today, and I can't tell you the difference that it makes, because there's no choice than something awesome or amazing is going to happen in your life. And then another thing it talked about, which I really, really believe, that we are energy. For so long we were taught we're matter, we're molecules and atoms, and not that we're still not that, but that's not the most important part of ourselves. Scientists are figuring out that it's the energy that counts. And just to even show you how this is true, I was in a car accident several months ago and still recuperating, and so they stuck this really thin needle into my muscles just to make sure the muscles were moving. And what they did is they would put these currents inside my muscles. Okay, first of all, that hurt. But second of all, my muscles just moved magnificently. And at one point she goes, I need to recheck this because I'm sure you're not superhuman. Your muscles are not reacting rationally. And it wasn't a bad thing, but it's just that the energy was really flowing through my body. So even more and more now, I think it's so really important to understand. And another thing, saying, well, I can try this, or I might be able to do this. Just say, what, I know this or something better is possible. I know this or something better is possible. I just love that. It's just amazing to me. And there's this quote by James Allen that says, you are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. And then I like the way he says we should think. And there's like 8 ways, right? Think big, think courageously, think positively, think creatively, think responsibly, think differently, think out of love, and think out of confidence. And I think the more we realize that our thoughts and our words are just energy coming out of us and coming from other people, and just is that communication that really makes things happen. And I'll leave you with one last thing. You know how we always ask, well, why did this happen? Or why am I this? Or why is she that? Another word you can substitute is how. How did this happen? How did she learn to think like that? When we use the word how instead of why, it opens up possibility, creativity, understanding. You notice when you say the word why, it's defense. Like, why do you automatically, that energy with that word is so totally different, right? Anyway, so I hope the sharing this information about, our energy thoughts and our words or energy green lights your day, and just to try some of these substitutions today as you're talking or thinking to yourself. Anyway, stay warm out there, be safe, and have a great week. Talk to you later.